Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best day of the year. Okay, I know we have the best day of the week, but it's the best day of the year. I'm fired up. I already told you it is my favorite day of the year outside of 4th of July and Christmas, okay? And Thanksgiving's getting up there too. But it's one of my favorite days of the year. We spring forward. That means it's going to be 7:30, 8:15, 8:30, and the sun's still going to be shining. I'm getting my vitamin D. I love it. And to cap it all off, old Billy doesn't hold back. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure that we roll into my favorite day of the year by giving us a little gift. And I appreciate that. I think Billy clearly watches the show. He cues things up properly. And for those reasons, I'm ecstatic to be here today. Happy to have all of you here. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Hope you guys are having yourselves a wonderful Sunday afternoon. We got ourselves a commit yesterday. A massive offensive lineman. I'm going to obliterate this young man's name. I apologize, but at least I'm honest. So that's a good start to that. 6'8", 270. I don't know where they hide these guys, but they pack them away somewhere, and Billy and the Sail Boys pluck them out of just nowhere. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And I got to tell you, I am beyond excited. I say this for almost every recruit, but I'm really excited about this young man right here. And again, Ignak Shwangwe, butchered. Absolutely just obliterated. I'm going to try not to say it because I don't want to look like an idiot more than I already do. 6'8", 265. This guy's coming all the way from Germany, or Great Britain, excuse me. Noel was from Germany. Across the pond. He's currently located in Jacksonville. Maybe we slide on over there and go say, hey, just see what's up. You know what I mean? Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll figure those things out. Currently in Jacksonville, came to Jacksonville to pursue a collegiate career. Because over there in Great Britain, the young man was doing everything. Playing basketball, playing rugby, playing soccer, everything but football. He actually played on a club league for basketball over there across the pond. Pretty athletic. Played rugby as well. Again, that's close to football. So why I'm telling you all these things, this young man is an athletic freak of nature. I feel like we run into this situation sometimes we land ourselves an offensive lineman, we get the size, and we're like, you know what? You can't teach size. Just put the guy back there and everything's going to be okay, right? 6'8", 310, doesn't matter. Throw them in there. This young man, in my opinion, has the size, but I feel that he has a technique before the size. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, what we typically get is we get the size and we teach technique. This guy kind of has it and the size, which really fires me up. Could he put on some more weight? Absolutely, but he's obviously a multiverse athlete. The guy does everything, and he carries his 6'8", 265 very well. We're going to watch this film here in just a minute. It's not like, again, most of these high school kids, you'll see them, they're just kind of the biggest dude on campus. They throw them in there, hope they figure it out just because they're big. He's playing edge, too. He's coming off the edge with a vengeance. He's got some speed for 6'8", 265. Probably why he's a little bit lean right now in the sense of his size, what we're working with here. So, let's take a look at his film here in just a moment. Again, he's playing a lot of defense. This has 280. So it's 265, 280 is kind of what we're looking at here. Coming off the edge here. Look at that. Light speed, just smothering the quarterback. But when you watch his offensive line tape, I love how quickly he's able to get off the ball. He has the patience. He has the discipline. Everything you would hope for in an offensive line. And he's just pancaking kids, too, when he needs to be. Right? Again, watching a lot of this film, typically what you'll see, we also have Peyton Joseph. I said the same thing similar to him. You'll see usually just the big size guys kind of just using their size as their advantage. This young man right here has the size, but the technique already that you're going to need to be successful as an offensive lineman. Can it improve? Can it get much better? Absolutely. But I love to see him. Look at him quick off the ball. Shuffle, boom. Something that we criticized before with our offensive lineman when we had Stephen Harris on the show. So I am beyond excited right now. He has 0 starts. He's currently not ranked. He's not rated anything at the moment. I am willing to put, if I had some cheddar to put down, if we had any betting lines to throw down this, he ends up being a 4, a low 4, high 3. I don't know exactly the quality of school that he's going to. That's going to play a factor. There isn't many camps. But now that he's on Florida's radar, the same thing happened with Amir Jackson. When Amir Jackson committed to Florida or visited Florida, and I'm always going to bring this up because I was right about it. When Florida started eyeing him, he was nowhere to be found. He ended up being a high 4-star. Gregory Smith, somebody that Florida kind of plucked out of thin air, right? Noel Ponte Gacho from Germany. He was 0 stars. He ended up being a high 3-star by the end of it. But we got to Noel kind of towards the end of the recruiting cycle. This young man we got very early on. Now, and he has a slew of offers. I would expect his offers or his stars to slowly increase. As you can't just, you watch this film and you're like, how do you not want to put this guy at a higher category? Again, coming from across the pond, not too many people know about him, but Rob Sell said doesn't matter. I've got my eyes everywhere. Nobody's hiding from me, and that's what we've got here. And I'm not going to even try to say his name. And Mr. Wenga, I don't know. But I love it. I love pickup. It's our second offensive lineman of the class, which is huge in my opinion, especially this early on. I said we need about 5 to 6. That's my projection for this recruiting cycle. The fact that we have 2 in the beginning of March fires me up. We're on pace to have damn near 8 if we keep up this same type of trend. We're 1 a month right now, boys. We're 1 a month. We land another one next month. There's 3. We've got 6 months to go, 5 months to go. We're sitting at 8 offensive linemen. We don't need all those, I know. But I love the pace, love where things are headed, and it's going to be really exciting to see how he kind of plays out this year. And if he does, like I said, increase, I believe that he will. Big time pickup here. Not going to jump off the pages, not going to be that big flash commit as, we would hope to see, as you usually would see like a 5-star guy, but be really excited about this pickup here. Now, something I do want to dive into, we had day 2 of practice just the other day. Nick Del Toro wrote a great article. I'm going to just kind of give you bits and pieces of it because we've talked about it before. We've had when we do our show, we broke down the position groups, right? We did the safeties, we did I haven't done the linebackers actually. But we had our thoughts, we had our questions, we had our concerns. Now we're starting to get some answers. Not all the answers, but we're starting to get a little bit of insight with the practices on what our projections and what we thought they would be, okay? And so this was a big thing for me that I thought was interesting because Triquez Bridges, when he first committed, was supposed to be a safety, right? But when Asa Turner committed and I did the secondary room, I was like, look, I don't see Bridges taking that job from Turner and from Jordan Castell. That was what I said. So what's happening right now is a position battle to watch is what he says. Asa Turner, Bridges, and DJ Douglas. DJ Douglas was another name that I thought would switch over to cornerback play. Not saying that he's not going to, but right now it seems these 3 are kind of fighting for that other side of the football field, given the fact that Castell owns the other side currently, and Bryce Thornton is also working with that unit as well too, which again, all things that we discussed. So something very interesting to watch. I like the fact that we have 2 veteran guys one coming from Washington, a championship style of team. We also had Cam Parker on. This was his guy to watch. This was his guy that kind of put him on notice as that he's much bigger than I thought and expect great things from him. Again, played on a championship caliber team. Huge addition to that secondary. And Triquez Bridges played at Oregon. Again, not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination. He played cornerback. His main position is safety. It will be something kind of, again, interesting to watch as the year develops because I feel like that safety room is starting to look very healthy with Castell, Turner, Bridges, Douglas, and don't forget Mr. George. Can't think of his name right now. George Smith that we just got committed. Very young. So obviously a lot of time there. Probably won't see much of him, but I'm loving the depth that is starting to come together with that safety room. Now, next up we have the competition at nickel. Again, this was a big one that I had question marks. This one I had circled on the board here because Jaden Hill obviously moved on. Sharif Denson played nickel a lot last year, headed into his second year, expecting a lot of big things out of him. But Aaron Gates, somebody who we didn't hear much of last year, somebody who was committed to that class very early on, that first cycle, switched to that safety position / nickel position. So him and Sharif and Josiah Davis, currently those 3 guys, Josiah Davis, a 3-star safety who committed last year, they're fighting over that spot. It will be interesting to see. I thought, for me, my prediction, I thought I said Triquez could switch into that Jaden Hill role. Given the fact that he played a little bit of corner, given the fact that he obviously is playing safety, we'll see how it plays out to the end of the year. He's 6'3", I think 215, so he's a little bit bigger. So that's why I liked him in that role. Kind of gave me the Jaden Hill vibes. But it looks like they got Aaron Gates and Sharif Denson duking it out right now. So again, a fun battle will be interesting to see. Things that to kind of keep an eye on too that we'll keep up with during the practices, but then also the spring training game to see what team are they on, right? That kind of gives us a vibe of if they're second or third string or first string, and then how they're playing in those roles during those games. Something to watch. And then linebacker, he said as well, Shamar James in a non-contact jersey. We know he's going to be kind of the voice of that room. But he said Grayson Howard and Miles Graham, both looking the part. Again, Pup Howard, we don't have much on. We know what he did at South Carolina. I was following a lot with the Miles Graham and Aaron Childs. Surprisingly, not to hear a lot from Childs, but Miles Graham was somebody that I was like, yo, this kid's going to be the real deal. And hearing this early on really excites me. So it's going to be something, again, to monitor, to keep how it goes on. The linebacker room was a room that we had that we were very excited about because of the talent that is there. The quantity, in my opinion, is there. The quality has the potential to be there. We just have to see how it all folds out. When I said at the beginning of spring training, a room that I was wanting to know about, to learn about, it was the linebacker room. And now we're getting a little bit of juice because, again, in my opinion, I feel like it's the most exciting that it's been in a very long time. In the last 2 years, it's had the veteran presence there, but the quantity clearly was not there. And we kind of got beat up and eaten up in that linebacker room, which I think had a lot to do with the secondary and the line. Like, all of it has to be in unison for that defense to be clicking. And it may not always just be, again, the entire unit could be one thing, but that one thing causes for everything else to fall. So, great article by, I think it was Nick Del Toro here on 3. Yeah, Nick Del Toro, breaking down that second day of practice. Again, day one, we were just jazzed up and fired up. Zach Goodall had a great article about the trenches as well. Read a little bit about that. Again, that was kind of trying to see who's where, what's with what. They had, again, George at guard. The clip that he posted, George already looked more comfortable. Rob Sells working with those guys. DeCoster was working with another group of guys like Najee Harris, things like that. So something, again, we'll definitely keep an eye on. The trenches was something we did not get much of from day one. So we'll kind of continue to monitor that. Austin Barber is still on a non-contact jersey. So to get a full idea of how this O-line is going to work, we don't quite know yet. I hope we'll have a little bit more information before the spring game so we can head into the spring game really watching this O-line. Because, again, the O-line, I think, told us a lot during the spring game. Dave mentioned on a Wednesday show, either our defense is really good or our O-line is really bad. We got that answer, all right? We figured it out pretty quickly during the season. So hopefully we can kind of get a gauge. Again, we still won't know until the season starts, but we're in this moment where we're all just trying to guess and figure these things out. So, again, we'll see how it plays out, but loving the noise that we're hearing from day two. And again, of course, DJ Lagway is just getting so much noise. It's absolutely incredible. I love it. I love every bit of it. But look, huge pickup with Mr. Wango. I'm butchering his name, and I apologize. Love the pickup. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Again, go watch it. You've seen the film on this video already. I think what he brings to the table is really exciting. Now, our 5th commit, not going to add towards the numbers given the fact that he doesn't have any stars currently, but I see him moving up the ladder, like I said, during the year and having an impact on that. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. There will be a video dropping later on today. We had Stephen Harris on earlier this week. We watched some of the film with him, and it was a very interesting take, getting his vision, getting his thoughts on it. The same when we watch film with him, it is an absolute blast. You learn, there's so much things you get to learn, especially if you're just invested in it like the way that we are, and you want to just kind of see the ebbs and flows and watch how he watches the practice versus we, the fans, watch the practice. It's very interesting, especially somebody who's been in those shoes, what he's looking for from Jarrell Chapman, what he's looking for from the players, right? Those are things that, in my opinion, we lacked last year. Right, we lacked a little kind of the touches, the small details, the accountability, and he's noticing that and breaking down this film. And again, these are just 30-second clips, so does it tell you a full story? No. But if we're think about it, these guys get 15 minutes. These guys being the media get 15 minutes to hop in here, and they're giving us 30-second clips. You got to think if we're only getting a small portion of it, and we're able to figure out kind of piece together some things here and there. Kind of tells you where things are at for a good majority of it. So I'll be posting that later on today. It's an incredible video getting to hear Stephen Harris talk about that. If you've already seen it, obviously in the long form, that's great. If not, it's going to come out in a little bit shorter form so you guys can gobble it up and let your thoughts and opinions about it. People were loving it all over Twitter, so figure we clip it up and give it to you guys. But until then, be sure to smash the like button, of course, subscribe. Until next time, baby. Peace and love, baby.